Honest to God, I don't know why this video was requested. This is a JYP group. You aren't getting art out of this company. But because I'm ITZY, I did it anyways. Or tried my best, but wow, this was hard. So many flop album covers from the ITZY camp, it's shocking. 17. It's me. Yeah, I'm coming out strong on this one. Even back before I had my channel, I fucking despise this album cover. The footsteps with the wannabe on it is so genuinely dumb and tacky, I can't believe it was ever greenlit. I've also always hated this brushstroke typography, gives me 2013 flashbacks. Yeah, Jai's braids, the styling, there's so much that went wrong this era and I feel like the album cover summed it up perfectly. Boring, dull, random and too on the nose at moments. 16. In the morning English version. The night version of Guess Who will never be on my good list. Not to mention the photos used for this cover feels like it clashes terribly with the strawberry red background. The typography is unreadable as well, especially with the black color on the girls' names. 15. Trust me Mitzi. Honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this cover, but it's not good enough to be above the rest of the 14 covers. It did what it needed to do, nothing more or less. 14. Not Shy English version. I know it may shock many that I put this above It's Me, but I personally think this cover did what it needed to do as well. The composition isn't as jarring as in the morning's cover, the design detail of the sniper focus and just letting the photo do most of the talking. It's not the best cover ever, but it's competent. 13. Crazy in Love. Once again, tacky brush calligraphy and the local logo being slapped big across the graphic is insane. Is this the Loco album or is this the Crazy in Love album? Very nonsensical decision. Why are the photos in B&W? Is it to focus on the colorful typography? That's awful. So many choices here was bizarre. The simple fact that they would create a photo collage rather than actually design something unique for their first album tells you how unserious of a company JYP is. 12. Guess Who? Weird typography that's unreadable like I said and add nothing to the overall design other than the question marks as the S on the word guess. The collage format does this cover no better and it's honestly the most laziest shit that JYP keeps trying to make happen, especially in relation to ITZY. Although the clock iconography to the top as well as the color palette of the purple and orange red is gorgeous and saves this album cover from being a dud for me. 11. Cheshire. Let me just remind everyone that this album's name derives from Alice in Wonderland and yet this cover couldn't be further from the concept. This cover is honest to God so bizarre, like I honestly don't know what to say about it. Think about Red Velvet and their fairy tale concept versus this cover. I think that sums up how egregious this was. I honestly have nothing to say other than the logo is somewhat cute, the S is of course supposed to reflect a cat's tail. But that's pretty much it. Boring. Just like this era and this album. 10. I think it's insane that we're getting higher up the list and I haven't said anything too positive compared to my Red Velvet video. Like we're top 10 and these wouldn't even be top 10 in comparison to other groups. Crazy. Anyways, 10 is ITZY. Colorful bright outfits really represent the group thus far into their career, which is the point of this album. It's a Japanese version to all their hits. Nothing more, nothing less. 9. Ringo. Cute styling, somewhat cute typography moment. The background instead should have matched the teasers with a green grass and blue sky, but I guess we can't ask for too much out of JYP Entertainment nor Warner Japan's team. Very awkward posing and I'm almost certain there must have been a better shot to use, but it's competent. 8. Blah blah blah. Set design, styling and color grading showed some effort was put into this one. Music video may be a better display of the budget, but that could be said for every ITZY album cover at this point. Typography was bizarre to say the least, not a good use of the type mixing technique whatsoever. It's clashing bad. 7. Kill My Doubt. Funniest album cover because it matches the album title and concept but couldn't be further removed from the music, as with the rest of the concept. So much went wrong and right here, I need to make a review one day, but I get so exhausted even beginning to explain JYP's art direction pitfalls because there are so many. This album is a cut above the rest simply because it didn't utilize an ugly collage style, had a good logo moment and utilized the photo with good posing. It didn't do anything exceptional for them otherwise. 6. It's ITZY. I honestly couldn't put her in top 5 in good faith. She does a lot right, but she's not winning any Grammys compared to the top 5. The monochromatic color palette with the blue is too good not to gush about, not to mention the additional design details of the ice being weaved in on pieces of the girls' outfits. The association with the color blue comes with water, ice, cooling and breeze in general, all elements that come along with a hot summer. The set design was a good follow-up from their debut and the styling from this set was iconic. The composition does lose some points due to the collage style and the typography, but overall, it matched the album's purpose perfectly and has left its mark on a unique style for summer that isn't just the same old girls on a random beach somewhere K-pop indulges in. 5. Checkmate. And I'm not taking it back either. Now is she an SM Entertainment worthy album cover? Fuck no. But you have to understand my trauma bond to get the complexities of this album cover. You don't understand the nightmare of a cover that we had before, generic 3D art that could only be comparable to an NFT. The original Checkmate cover was dull and empty, never words that should be associated with a group like ITZY, nonetheless an album like Checkmate that was bratty in tone and possessed a spunk that was missing within ITZY's discography for a long while. The switch up gave us ITZY's first pink album cover since debut, harkening back to a point in their career where the team actually seemed to possess a vision. The 3D sneakers being included was nice as well, very neo Y2K and reminds me of the work Naeon Kim does for NINI'S. There's a sense of personality that this cover evokes that had been gone for a minute with ITZY, and while it may not be the best cover ever, it was much more fun and reflective of what the era should have been opposed to how it unfortunately was perceived. Of course it has its downfalls. The photo collage of the girls at the bottom will always catch tomatoes from me. Once again, it's pure laziness, not to mention excess whitewashing, and said photos are egregious. The spray paint muddies the overall composition, which was the biggest issue with Checkmate era's design in my opinion. Even as a fan of maximalist design, the spray paint made a good chunk of Checkmate's work hard on the eyes at times. The sneakers logo is puke-worthy. I will never be pro this brush typography style that the team is so committed to making happen. It will always look incredibly tacky and cheap. Also, the way everything is organized in general in the cover is incredibly messy, but it possesses a certain charm that at the very least gets me to click on the album. 4. It's different. It actually pains me to put this at number 4, but I guess this is a ranking for a reason. It's Different remains one of ITZY's best art direction to this day, establishing a firm identity for the group that unfortunately would never return afterwards. The styling, the typography, the pink, the set design. Everything was perfect here. I only docked it down because once again, I'm never going to be positive when it comes to album covers that are just a photo slapped weirdly onto a background. It will always come off as lazy to me. But make no mistake, she's a queen in her own right. Album. Two. Voltage. Because you all down like art. Beautiful styling, sick set design, great use of elements and spacing, and the typography was cute. I will never understand the reception Voltage got, because as much as people scream that the creative direction looked cheap, this literally looked 10 times better than all their Korean comebacks past the ITZY era. In fact, Voltage literally just feels like a more mature It's Different. I think sadly people counted Voltage out because of the visual teasers, when in reality those teasers were better than Crazy in Loves, which, mind you, was a full fucking album. Absolute 10s from me in regards to Voltage. She'll always have a home in the Shprism Sunshine State. 1. Not shy. And y'all are mad because I'm right. Actually, the first time the team actually cropped a goddamn photo out and used some great typography. Of course, Not Shy being in Konope. Like everything about this cover was cute and well edited. Not too much going on, the photo speaking for itself, great font choice, the use of the original Kunti ITZY logo. Anyways, that's it. This one was much more bare bones and less positive than my Red Velvet video, because you can tell SM's creative team at least cares about the work being shown on digital platforms as well as the physical releases. That's not the case at JYP. I literally flinch whenever the digital cover for ITZY gets released, because it's always something either incredibly ugly, generic, or just downright boring. By Straw Besties.